Encryption and decryption of files. Imagine you're in your house or your working place, you leave your computer on, and you go to the restroom. Soon after, someone begins to open your files and photos. So that is why we're going to talk about encryption of files today. So what are we going to learn from encryption of files? So we're going to learn what encryption is, we're going to learn what is decryption is, and we're going to learn about the benefits of encryption. So at the end of all this, we're going to have a short quiz. Okay? So what is encryption? The purpose of the encryption is to scramble the information as it can only be accessed or understood by authorized parties. So when I encrypt a file, so my idea is that I only can access the file, or if I share a key, so the only person that has access to the key can only access the file. The data is altered from ordinary text to a ciphertext. So that means when I have the data, so I alter it from a plain text to a ciphertext. A ciphertext is whereby the person without a key will not be able to have access to it. We can make it more clear by a real life example. Let's take, for example, we have a person which contains a box with a few documents inside it. So the person takes care of the box and put this box into a lock. After a few days, the person dispatches the box of documents to his or a friend for him to keep. So this friend actually retains the same key as the owner of the box. So this means that the sender and the receiver both contain a similar key. So you can use this similar key to access the file. The friend now has the authority to open the box and access the document. So this process of encryption is the same as we discussed in the example. So encryption is done on digital signals. This electronic aims to keep the third party away from understanding the hidden information in the signal. So keeping information safe and sound is one of the approaches known as encryption. So when I try to keep the file safe and sound, so I'm encrypting it. So let's take, for example, I have a plain text here, a plain password, which is very easy. Password is plain text. So when I encrypt it to this password, it becomes a ciphertext. Okay, that's just an example. So now let's talk about what decryption is. Okay, so what is decryption? Decryption is the process of transforming data from ciphertext to plain text. In encryption, I have a plain text, so I encrypt it to a ciphertext. In decryption, I have a ciphertext, I'm going to return it back to the original state, to a plain text. Ciphertext is a coded and unreadable version of the data that prevents hackers or individuals from understanding the data if they intercept it. So when I encrypt, when an hacker try to open the file, it has been encrypted, so they won't be able to have access to it even when they intercept it. So while plain text is the original format of the data, once the person or system safely receive the data, the recipients can manually decrypt the ciphertext to its readable version. They can also use the same key or strings of data that allows for decryption that encrypted data. So now let's see what are the benefits of encryption. So the first benefit of encryption that we have here is protect against file tampering. So it is possible to encrypt and decrypt files of all types. I can encrypt and decrypt PDF files. I can encrypt and decrypt PowerPoint. I can encrypt and decrypt photos. I can encrypt and decrypt WhatsApp chat messages. So it is possible. Not just simple text-based messages. By encrypting and decrypting other types of file, users can ensure there is no file tampering. So remember the first example I gave, you went to the bedroom and someone started tampering, started your files and photos. But when you encrypt the file, so there will be no file tampering. For example, they can password protect the file on their machine or encrypt the file before sending it, over the internet for another user to decrypt. So for example, when you send a file out, maybe you send a PDF file from email or something like that, so you can try to encrypt the file before sending it to someone. The second one is guards intellectual property. By adding extra security to their files, owners of intellectual property can better protect their asset with encryption and decryption. Their work is better protected against plagiarism as it's less accessible to outside parties. This is especially important for business that invest large amount of resources into their intellectual property. So when you do this, so there is a lot of PDF files on the internet that you can just open, and it's easy. When you open it, you can just copy from these files. But when you encrypt it, so it is impossible for someone to just open the file and start tampering it. Okay. Before we go down to the quiz, so let's go down to the so what I'm going to tell you today that you should encrypt your file. If you want, you should encrypt your file. You should protect your file and archives against file tampering. You should try to guide your intellectual properties. So if you want to encrypt your file, okay, I would strongly recommend you send me an email if you wish. I have some files that I want to encrypt. I don't want anybody to see the information that is there. So if you want to encrypt those files, you can send me an email. My email is in my profile, and all your files will be protected. So it will be encrypted, and I'm going to send it back to you with the key. So by encrypting your files, we also guarantee the integrity and confidentiality of the information in your archives. Okay, so let's just try a little quiz here. Sorry, this thing's jumping. Let's just try a little quiz here. What type of key is not shared and computers cannot decrypt a message without it? So what type of key is not shared and computers cannot decrypt a message without it? Letter A is a free key, letter B is a private key, letter C is a public key, and letter D is a personal key. So you can write your comments, you can write your answer in the comment bar. Okay, so that is what we have for you today. Thank you very, very much for your time. And don't forget, in my next tutorial, I'm going to show you how I encrypt files using Kali Linux. Okay, so once again, thank you very much. Bye bye. Audience, would you like to support my project? My main objective is to enlighten people on the tools that hackers use. Support me with any amount you have by clicking on the Instagram icon and the TikTok profile, which will take you to my Instagram page. If you're watching me on YouTube also, I'm going to place the link of the donation whereby you'll be able to donate on YouTube. So you will find a link. So the only link in my bios that I'm talking about Instagram, so the only link in my bios where you can donate any amount you want. So this money will be used to search the tools and techniques used by hackers to invade people and will be recorded and shown to you. So guys, thank you very, very much for your donation. I really, really appreciate it.